All of that is from glaciers. Ah yes, your common, everyday wasp fountain. So, you can't really tell from this video because the scale is slightly off, but that peak right there is probably nearly a mile up, and we are already pretty high in the mountains, up in the Andes. But let's see, I guess there's not really a good reference point. Something that happened is, so we have citron cactus, red, with black darters. I've never seen another red citron cactus in all of Chile. Here, we park right next to the exact same car, except theirs is cleaner. So, some complications and confusions later, we are here, and here is actually really amazing. You can't really tell because it's too bright. There's like a soccer field there, and the houses are called domos because they're domes, and I will show you a shot of those in a second. That is very impressive. So, we have very complicated things going on right now, but basically, when we tried to reserve our house here, we went for a 4-person house that was a domed 4-person house, and there were some problems checking out, and we found out the next day that there had been a fire here that destroyed all of their internet connection, didn't allow them to reserve anything. So, because we had tried to do it while they were out of commission, they said, oh yeah, we'll give you this 8-person cabin that is too expensive for most people to buy, but we'll give it to you for the price of the one that you were gonna reserve. So we thought, oh yeah, great. We get here with a friend, and they give us a 5-person cabin because there had been some other misunderstanding. Long story short, we still got one more space. We still got a bigger cabin for less than was necessary, which is awesome. But it's really cool. I guess I already showed the clips of that I took of it, but really, if you look at it, it's just, you can't really tell from here because you can't see the scale, but it's 2 stories, and this whole place it's right by the Andes. That's actually, the Andes are up there. I don't know if you can really see them, and then there's a river down there somewhere, and it's awesome. But the most awesome part, as you saw in some of those clips at the end, was there's a lot of old trees here, and there's a lot of craftsmen here. So there's a lot of really nice woodwork here, and it's all like solid wood. I mean, I've very rarely seen, I've seen old wood that's not as nice as this, but I haven't ever seen like new stuff, it's very impressive to me, to see some of the stuff they have here. And this isn't what we paid for, but it's what we got, and I'm not complaining because it's awesome. It's just a little bit warm in there because it's basically a giant steel frame, but it's got just a tarp kind of thing pulled over it, and then it's got padding on the inside, so it's a little bit warm upstairs, which is where our bedroom is, but it's awesome. I thoroughly enjoy it here already. We've been here for 3 hours. This is kind of like a vacation area for a lot of people, and it's kind of hippie-ish because a lot of hippies come here to vacation. But it's got, a really, really nice big pool, and they have hot tubs and massages and stuff. I actually got back, I went to the hot tubs and did called banya, or Indian sauna, where you go really hot and then really cold and back and forth. And that was really nice. I love doing that. You feel great after doing that too. And so now we're gonna have dinner, and then I'm gonna go to bed because I'm really tired. And I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Day 2. We are about to go on a hike across the river and up the mountain that you can't really see, but it's really, really, really tall. And I'm gonna try and get some good shots while I'm on it, because it's probably gonna be a really cool hike.
¿Cuántos cientos de historias de amor han...
Yeah. Day 3. So this is our last full day here, at least that we know of. We may stay one more day if we find something, but this is our last full day here that is scheduled, and we are going to go about an hour from here to a hot springs that's volcanically heated, and we're gonna see how that is. Wow. Look at that. The Andes. This is where I want to live.
Alright, so we have driven for 2 hours on what was supposed to be a half-an-hour trip. We have been literally within inches of death and destruction and complete obliteration multiple times. And I have a terrible headache. And we still have, 5 kilometers to go before we get to the hot springs. So this is a little bit of a pain. Actually, for me, it's a lot of a pain because my head is killing me. But the nature's really nice. This is kind of a place I'd actually like to live. No one for miles. Which is perfect, because I don't like people. Yeah.
So, this is really cool. So those are thermal baths, and then that is where it's coming from. The hot part is coming from under the ground, under the thermal baths, and it kind of drains upward. And then that's cold water. It's just spewing right out of a rock. Just, coming right out for no apparent reason. And it's discolored the rock there a whole bunch. So that's cool. But also, we're in the Andes. Those are very large mountains. You can't really get a scale just from the video. I have found the largest assortment of various minerals in pure ore form that I have found in a long time. And also, there's a lot of salt and sulfur in those. And there are places where it condenses. And so this is like sulfur salt on a rock and sulfur salt on mud. And this stuff is super cool. And then down here we have, I guess you can't really see it, we have a bucket of volcanic mud. Awesome.
So, if this is 2,000 meters, that's 9,000 feet. We're 9,000 feet up. That's high.
No wonder I had a headache.
Do you still have one?
Nope.
It's that mineral water.
There's a lot of good. Oh, there was.
Don't look.
It was a very good piece of.
No, I missed one. That was a really good one there. I like that round rock. Take that.
¿Cuántos cientos de historias de amor han...
Day 4. We are packing up to leave, but before we go, because we have to get out by 12, before we go, we're going to go horseback riding, so that's what we're doing next. Those are pretty big.
Just imagine the size of the chainsaw they had to use.
Yeah, seriously. That's like that's a 5-foot diameter.
Nah, not 5 feet. I'm 5'10" and I can't fit on top of that.
That middle one? You could fit across that. Some big wood. That's some big wood. Yeah. So, in case you couldn't tell the scale, that's there's a bucket and there's a tree. That's certainly over 6 feet thick, and that one's also very thick. Wow. The bottom of that and the top of that are one solid piece of wood. Good gravy. So we're back. I just wanted to say a few things at the end of this video. We didn't get to do, or I didn't get to do a lot of filming for the horseback ride because it was on a really steep edge and dropping my camera was a real possibility, so I didn't want to do that. So I just got that first clip. And that's that. Well, we went to a restaurant called the Chocolatery or something like that. It wasn't a restaurant, it is a place that makes its own ice cream, and that was that fancy building I showed. And the guy who made that and lives there is the guy who made all of the woodwork and metalwork at the place where we stayed for this whole time, which was called Cascada de las Animas, which, by the way, really good place. I loved it there. And he's a real master of crafts and stuff. And I got to talk to him and see his workshop, and that was really cool. I didn't want to film any of that because I didn't want to, be filming his workshop. But really cool guy. And actually, I learned a lot just from talking to him for like 10 minutes. He had all that wood that I showed just sitting there ready to be used. Those trunks that were in the first clip where I said that's some pretty big wood or something like that, those were about 10 feet tall, and they were easily more than 5 feet thick. And they were pine, of all things. And that just blew my mind that, like, first off, in the United States it would be illegal to cut down a tree that big. But apparently, I asked him where he got it, and he said he got him from a place called Concon, which is a little bit far from here, but because a company or something cut it down, and they were just gonna burn it, because that's what they do here. They cut trees, they use them plants and stuff to make room, and they burn it all because it's in the way. But he managed to acquire it.